Rimuru the Yellow Primordial? By Raphael-sensei Chapter 6, Friendship. Third person POV. It's been 100 years since John was summoned to the material world. Many things have happened in those past years. The Primordial Rouge, that assumed the name Guy. After he completely eradicated the two powerhouse nations, he ventured into the world and stumbled upon the god creator, Veldanava, and quickly challenged him to a battle, as he didn't like the idea that there was someone proclaiming himself as a god. And just like in the past, Guy got defeated, and according to the demon's rule, if the demon gets defeated by someone who is superior to him, the said loser must serve the victor and plague his loyalty. But Guy, being the proud demon he was, obstructed the natural order, and just wanted to die rather than serve a master. But Veldanava, being the merciful god he was, he just laughed as he didn't want to kill his own creation. After that, Veldanava made a bold decision and befriended the demon. Of course, Guy easily accepted it, and with that said and done, Veldanava saw the opportunity to dump his work on this poor demon. He made Guy as the mediator of the world. The one who will maintain the balance of the world. And that's how the Demon Lord system and the first official Demon Lord were born. And the same events happened just like in the main storyline. Velzard challenges Guy out of jealousy blah blah blah. Guy manages to evolve his unique skill into ultimate skill blah blah blah, and together with Guy they made the ice continent as a base of operation. I don't want to explain much, it's just a pain in the ass, but you get the idea, right? The air flow as it gently touches her flawless skin, her golden hair sway with the wind. She begin closing her azure eyes as she takes a deep breath. She's enjoying herself to the fullest as she didn't have this kind privilege back in the demon realm. Even though she spends majority of her time in Blanc's garden, the experience is not the same as it was just a fake imitation. Having the chance to enjoy such environment, she don't want to be bothered by anyone, that's why she ordered her two followers that she named Rain, Blue, and Esprit to go back in demon realm at the meantime. This is really a refreshing sight. No demons fighting over superiority, no noises, and no chaos. It's just me and the nature. Men, it's been a forever seems I experienced this kind of peace, she thought to herself. When suddenly, a familiar voice rang through her mind, that causes to ruined her mood. Master. Seal said, somewhat shacking, but she got completely ignored her master as it was relaxing. Master. Seal loudly shouted just to get the attention of her master. What, can't you see that I'm relaxing? If you want to report something, can you do please it later? I just want to relax right now. But master. No buts, you can report that to me later but not now as I was relaxing, said John as she lay her body to the grass. Isn't this place beautiful? She asked herself and slowly opened her eyes. Sure it is, answered the masculine voice. This prompts John to reflexively jump and look for the source of the voice that made her anxious. It was a large dragon with blue eyes and cyan scales, comparable to Veldora. Has 4 legs, 2 enormous wings, and smooth spines running down his forehead and across his back. Who the hell is this dragon, Veldora? No, they may look similar, but their power gap is insane, as if it were a hydrogen bomb and a coughing baby, John thought anxiously. Seal, why didn't you tell me that there was a dragon lurking around? She added. This is exactly what I wanted to report earlier, but you won't listen. John. Then the dragon speak. Do not be anxious, little one. I mean no harm, said the dragon in a soft tone. But John didn't let her guard down as she didn't trust this dragon fully. Who are you? And, what do you want from me? Asked John coldly. Wow, I didn't know that the benevolent demon lord Rimuru Tempest is this cold, said the dragon sarcastically while pointing his draconic index finger with one another. I'm not asking for a joke. Wait, what? How did you know who I was? Asked John, completely turning her mood 180 degrees. Wahahahaha, oh yeah, silly me. I forgot to introduce myself, didn't I? Very well, said the dragon as he stood up. I am the first and the oldest true dragon that ever existed in this world, the creator, the grand designer, and the one and only Star King Dragon, Veldanava, said Veldanava in a proud tone while showing off this chest. Is this really Veldanava? I really thought that he's a cool and mature guy, not a Veldora version 2.0, John though to herself in disbelief. John. Would you mind if I asked a question? A question and answer, EYY? That sounds fun. Sure, go ahead, answered Veldanava. Are you really Veldanava? Because right now all I can see is Veldora. Juan asked, shattering the pride of the Star King. You really are so mean, Rimuru. Of course I am Veldanava. Veldanava answered while making a sad poppy eye. Just making sure, and please stop calling me by my old name. I'm not that person anymore, began John. Right, I forgot about the rule of reincarnation, said Veldanava. This information caught the curiosity of John and began asking the Star King again. Rule of reincarnation? What was that? John asked curiously. The rule of reincarnation is an absolute law that I made. In this law, if a soul gets reincarnated in someone's body, that person's previous name will get erased, and this law is also applicable to us true dragons, but because of our nature, this law is useless because we can generate our own body after we die. Explained Veldanava. So that explain why my old name got erased, said John to herself. As for you, John, if my memory serves me right, you also ascended to our rice, right? Yes, that is right, but my dragon factor got completely erased after I became a primordial demon, answered John. I see. And the reason why your dragon factor got erased is because it contradicts to your current race, explained Veldanava. This statement of Veldanava got John curious and asked, what you mean by that? You see, John, unlike the demon race and all other races, the slime race is the most flexible race, not just physically but also spiritually. Slimes doesn't align with light or dark spirits, as the slime race is just made up of pure magicules and they have no ego. That's why their evolutionary path is flexible. It is also the reason why you evolved from demon slime to pseudo-true dragon in the past. Hence, slime race can also evolve on a different path, such as divine slime if the proper conditions are met. Explained Veldanava that made the primordial shock. Wait, I'm confused. Divine slime. What exactly is that? If my hunch is right, is that the evolutionary path if a slime possesses a hero's egg instead of demon lord's seed? Asked John out of confusion that made the dragon god chuckle that followed by a laugh. Wahahahaha, as expected of you. You really are a smart individual, yes your assumption is right. Oh, I see. Replied John, but her mood changes after realizing something. She looked towards Veldanava as if she was judging him. Wait, something's off. Judging by the tone of your voice, it looks as if you know me very well, John said, but before she could continue her words, Veldanava cut her as he laughed. Wahahaha, of course I know you. You're such an interesting individual, you know? I know everything. From the time you were born, got stabbed and died, and got reincarnated as a slime, said Veldanava in a proud tone. But John has a different approach to what the dragon said. You know what? You're a creep. Stalking a person that wasn't even born is not cool, you know? Damn bro, you're even worse than Diablo, said John as if she were disgusted and made the dragon's ego shattered into pieces. Hey, it's not like that, I'm an omniscient being before I throw it, you know. You cannot blame for knowing everything, it's just that your story is so interesting that even in this days it stays to my mind. Veldanava explained while tearing like a child. Well, it doesn't change the fact that you're stalking and a creep, replied John, adding damage to already broken Veldanava. And that's also the reason why you're not popular among girls, she added, which causes Veldanava to feel even worse. Peeved look who's talking. Quite seal, hey. Veldanava, on the other hand, is left devastated. This is the first time he feels humiliated in his entire life. But he just let it be, as this is also the first time that a person talks to him normally as if they were some kind of close friend, and in his core, he feels somewhat happy. He, ha ha ha, wahaha. You really are an interesting individual. You know this is the first time I feel this kind of humiliation, and not even guy can talk dirty to me like that, said Veldanava. Oh yeah, then good for you. John replied that causes Veldanava to laugh even more. Weirdo. You can't blame me for being weird. All of my life I was surrounded by people who always praised me and talked highly of me. That's why I have no choice but to act according to their expectations. What a proper god would act. Explained Veldanava sincerely, which made John relate. That's also my problem in the past. I was also once surrounded by people who always praised me and even worshipped me like a god. I didn't know that you were also experiencing the same experience that I have. I was wrong for judging you from the start. I thought you were just like Veldora, who is troublesome and childish, but it turns out that you're just like me, who is forced to act tough. I'm sorry, said John. Veldanava made a smile after hearing what John said. As they begin chatting, complaining to their personal problem as a leader. Complaining how much of a hassle being a leader. As their chat lasted for an hour. And can you guess what irritated me the most? I have no idea, what is it? It was when Feldway keeps on praising for no reason. I was just standing for no reason and he will come then begin praising me non-stop. I have enough of his shenanigans. If I have the chance to beat that bird, I will gladly take it, Veldanava explained. Ha ha ha, that is also my problem from the past because Diabol always praises me for no reason. And speaking of him, did you know what he did when I was facing your two siblings? Asked John to Veldanava. What did he do? He just pack and watches me and does nothing. Bro is literally having the time of his life while I, on the other hand, am frustrated on how I can defeat Veldora and Velgrand. I'm literally fighting for my life at that time, and he's just spectating me while eating popcorn, explained John. They both look at each other and then laugh because of how odd their subordinate is. It was then that Veldanava changes the topic. Hey, John. I was keeping on saying your alias but not your real name for an hour now, said Veldanava, completely changing the topic. Oh yeah, and what seemed to be the problem with that? Asked John. I was just thinking, now that your old name is gone, why not I give you a name, explained Veldanava. This sudden shift of topic made John catches off guard as she gets shocked. EHH? You know, name? The one that you were giving to monsters like candy? I know that. But why? Why would you give me a name? Asked the confused Primordial. It is a gift of mine to you for becoming my friend, and now let me bestow on you the token of my gratitude. For now on you will be known as. But before she could even react, Veldanava finished the ritual by saying her official name. Carrera Nava. As a chunk of Veldanava's magicules leaves his body as it embraces John, making a cocoon, it was that moment that the name, Carrera Nava, got engraved on her soul. The cocoon cracks before it completely shatters, revealing Carrera in her new clothes. Instead of wearing her old dress, she is now wearing a black compression shirt and skirt, revealing the perfect curves of her body. It was not because Veldanava named her, but rather because of Seal. Wow. Why am I dressed up like this? Or being a pervert? Asked the embarrassed Carrera to Veldanava while trying to hide her body using her hand. Hey, don't be silly, it's not my doing that you're in that dress, and I'm not a pervert, answered Veldanava, somewhat upset. If it's not your doing then who? She asked. I don't know, I'm not an omniscient being anymore. It was that moment that she realized who really is the perpetrator of this event. Seal. T-nay. HMPH. That the punishment for not listening to me earlier, said Seal acting like a tsundere. Really now? Sighed this is helpless. After dealing with Ciel's shenanigans, she looked at Veldanava as she asked him an honest question. By the way, why did you give this surname? Because you are my sworn friend and I treat you as my equal, is that enough reason? Answered Veldanava truthfully. Really? But we just met earlier. Carrera just let out a sigh after hearing the dragon's answer. You really are the brother of Veldora, said Carrera as she smiles to the dragon. To be continued.